one of the most inspiring sights in nature. Whales in their element, in this case a female southern right whale and her calf. The pair were first sighted near Hawk's Nest on Monday and this morning swam inshore near Stockton Beach to the alarm of some locals who feared they might become stranded. According to the National Parks and Wildlife Service, however, cow and calf are doing fine. One organisation taking an interest in the pair is the Mid-Coast Whale Rescue Group, which was formed after last year's mass strandings at Crowdy Head. The group says the whales are migrating to Antarctica for the summer. It's possible that the cow gave birth to the calf in recent days and is keeping it close to the shore until the youngster is stronger. This afternoon, the pair was seen off Merewether Beach, making their way south.
Really appreciated that. That 1% as usual. And that's up and rolling, nice little wall there. A few tickets being sold here, the raffle, last chance, plays up and rolling. Nice little wall, with a nice Rio. Up to the Rio. Congratulations will be on shortly. And look at these.
The New South Wales Amateur Swimming Association operates a free program of ongoing training for swimmers at different levels of proficiency, from the Junior District Development Squad who trained at the Junction yesterday to the Challenge Squad and the state team. Within each group, swimmers have the chance to compete against each other and with squads from other districts. Yesterday, time trials were held to select a team from the junior squad to compete in Sydney. According to Kirk Marks, Director of Coaching with the New South Wales Amateur Swimming Association, it means that swimmers at any stage have the chance to improve, with attention paid to starting, turning and finishing techniques. The ongoing swimming program also includes the coaching of coaches. And despite Australia's fall from grace at the World Championships in Madrid, all looks well for our swimming future.
The tragedy unfolded about 10 o'clock last night between the Caves Beach and the Catherine Hill Bay turnoffs. A coal truck with a dog trailer was travelling south when the trailer overturned on a sharp bend. The trailer toppled over into the path of two cars travelling in the opposite direction. Killed in one car were 28-year-old Pamela Joy Richards from San Remo on the Central Coast and her 8-month-old daughter, Peggy Lee Richards. 3-year-old Benjamin Ryan Richards was strapped to the back seat. He was taken to Royal Newcastle Hospital with broken limbs and severe head injuries and is in a critical condition. In the second car was 40-year-old schoolteacher Ellen Isabella Rose from Bar Beach Avenue, Merewether. The driver of the truck, 23-year-old Darren Wilkins from Whitebridge, has spent the day with police investigating the accident. The force of the smash ripped the wheels and axle from the trailer, with much of the load of coal being strewn across the highway. The road was blocked to traffic early this morning, but has since been cleared. The baby's father and 4-year-old sister were travelling about 200 metres ahead of the others when the accident happened. They had the grim task of identifying the bodies at Newcastle Morgue this morning.
Hello, I'm Karen Lemming. The Newcastle Office Expo displays the latest in office and furniture design and features all that whiz-bang technology to make your job easier. I'll show you just a few of these things tonight on NBN's Hour of News at 6 o'clock.
Join Anna Manzoni and John Church for all the news tonight at 6.
Hello, I'm Helen Hughes. Newcastle's taxi drivers took to the streets in convoy today to protest against late-night violence. The taxi drivers say they'd like to see stiffer penalties introduced against offenders.
Join Anna Manzoni and John Church for all the news tonight at 6.
Haydn's Die Schöpfung, or The Creation, is one of the great masterpieces, and last night the work was performed as a prelude to the Matara festival. The ABC Symphony Orchestra was conducted by Warwick Stengards, winner of the 1986 William Van Otterloo Scholarship for Young Aspiring Conductors. His baton directed more than 60 voices from the Newcastle University choir. The creation tells the biblical story of the formation of the heavens, the appearance of life on earth, and the creation of man and woman. The oratorio reflects the musical brilliance of this great classical composer.
Despite a huge search and media attention, Samantha has been missing now from her home for more than a week. But family and friends are not giving up hope. Samantha's mother, Tess, was born in New Lambton and attended Newcastle Girls High. Her uncle operates the well-known printing firm Knight Brothers in Torres Hill. He has swung behind efforts to find Samantha by running the presses non-stop to produce these posters. They appeal for public information and include recent photographs of the little girl. The posters are being distributed statewide.
Samantha's grandma will be up here today, and she's going up the north coast with about 25,000-30,000, but they're down the south. They're all over New South Wales.
And how many did you say were in this run at the moment?
In this run there's 50,000.
And how many have you printed altogether?
Be 165,000.
Printing the posters is one thing, but to be effective they have to be widely distributed, and that's where help has come from many different sectors of the community, including the New South Wales Fire Brigade. Today, for example, members of the Cardiff Fire Brigade went from shop to shop in Warners Bay. They approached shopkeepers who all willingly agreed to display the posters in their shop windows. People stopped in the street, took a copy, and promised to keep an eye out for the little girl. Because Samantha disappeared without a trace, the family, in the hope that she will be found, have decided to do everything possible to see mother and daughter reunited.
St Heliers is located only 7 kilometres outside Muswellbrook. The property was first settled in 1825 and since the 1940s has been in the hands of the Department of Youth and Community Services, who have used it as a boys' home and recently as accommodation for state wards. The department has scaled down its use of the site and now the Corrective Services Department may buy it. The department has used the property as a site for several police and tactical response group training exercises, the most recent only 2 weeks ago. A spokesman for the Corrective Services Minister John Ackister confirmed today that St Heliers is being considered for a low-security prison. But the spokesman stressed that the site is only one of 50 being considered and no decision is expected soon. The other possibility is that St Heliers may be used by the department as a conference centre and for further training exercises.
Hello everyone, I'm Mark Warren. Tonight I'll have a report on the 1986 Home Improvement, Leisure and Pleasure Show on at the Newcastle Showground. On display is the latest in home furnishings and leisure goods.
Join Anna Manzoni and John Church for all the news tonight at 6.
Shortly after dawn this morning, 59 competitors set off from Foster Beach in the world's most gruelling surf ski paddle race. The 1986 Pi Australian Surf Ski Challenge covers 265 kilometres in a 4-day endurance test of body and mind.
Join Anna Manzoni and John Church for all the news tonight at 6.
In Newcastle today, there was no evidence of any panic buying or petrol queues, despite the fact that no fuel has been transferred through the Sydney to Newcastle pipeline since last week. Some fuel is getting through. Caltex has been milking out its supplies throughout today, each station getting a part tanker load, which may last for 2 to 3 days. Shell is continuing to bring in fuel by truck from Sydney, with the Shell refinery looking at increasing production to meet the shortfall. Apart from the pipeline and petrol tankers, there is a third way Newcastle can get hold of fuel, and that's through the inflammable liquids wharf at Newcastle Harbour. There is one problem: the lead time to organising any shipment is at least 1 month. The most immediate effect of the strike has been the disappearance of discounting, with most outlets selling the fuel for 55.9 cents a litre. The oil companies have removed subsidies, and most outlets are marking up the accepted 5 cents a litre.
So obviously the price has to go up, because we were selling fuel at 49 cents a litre, which is a cent or a little bit more than a cent under the wholesale price. So whenever the oil companies withdraw their assistance, the prices must go up, because we obviously can't afford to sell it for less than what we're paying for it.
So if the strike goes on, there'll be less petrol and it'll be more expensive?
Yes, that's for sure.
Hello, I'm Mark Warren. Central Coast Police are continuing their search for a man after a brutal attempted murder. A 15-year-old girl from the entrance was assaulted in bushland at Mooney Mooney.
Join Anna Manzoni and John Church for all the news tonight at 6.
When the competitors reached Newcastle and today's finish at Merewether Beach, they'd covered more than 150 kilometres in open waters over 2 days. Today's leg started at Hawk's Nest in a staggered start from 6:30 this morning. Already the event has taken its toll on the field. 10 of the 59 entrants have dropped out, some with hypothermia or extreme exhaustion, and a few with bronchitis. Organisers say that usually 1/3 of the field doesn't make it to the finish at Sydney's Bondi Beach on Saturday. The leg today covered 71 kilometres, and the position of the overall leaders has not changed from yesterday. 35-year-old Wanda Beach surf lifesaver Bill Prestige still holds out first spot. The 2 times entrant has been training successful for this one, and he looks set to equal or better the second place he got in 1984, provided all goes well. Tony Vicelli from Manly's in second spot overall, with the man who set the pace today, covering the distance in just under 6 hours, Alan Coates from Noosa Heads, riding close behind in third. They'll head off again at 6 a.m. tomorrow from Merewether, bound for Avoca Beach and their second last stop. Concern that the pilot station would detract from the beauty of the Foreshore Park area was conveyed to the state government by Labor's Lord Mayoral candidate John McNaughton. The Maritime Services Board is looking into the situation, and preliminary concept drawings to improve its appearance are now being prepared by the board's architects. The state government says the area can be made more attractive without compromising the board's operations. John McNaughton agrees.
The pilot station was built when it was adjoining a power station. Now it adjoins the finest park in Newcastle, what will be the finest park in Newcastle, and it needs to be refurbished. It needs to have new fencing, some landscaping, maybe some new buildings, but certainly it needs to be made to fit in with the new park.
Mayfield bodybuilder Ken Aspey is a remarkable man. Not only can he lift me like this, last weekend he became state lightweight bodybuilding champion. Now he's aiming for Mr. Universe. What makes all this even more inspirational is that Ken's a diabetic.
Join Anna Manzoni and John Church for all the news tonight at 6.
Winning the Grand Champion category of the Matara Garden competition has been Mrs Enderby's aim since she moved to this house in Jesmond in 1967. And the labour of those years has resulted in this bright, beautiful and fragrant garden. It features masses of colourful varieties of flowers, and in every direction on the suburban block there's a focal point. And in one special flower bed, a resting place.
I have my little pets, my deceased pets, Midgie and Foo. And they're there, and that's my favourite spot in the garden.
More than 8 years of full-time gardening and planning, and more than $30,000 has gone into its creation. Nestled in William Street, Jesmond, the garden will be open to visitors during Matara. The competition was organised by the Newcastle Horticultural Society in association with Matara. There were 28 categories of competition, which encompassed school grounds, vegetable plots and native gardens. A special bus will run on Sunday, conducting tours of the main prize winners.
Going into today's fiercely contested grand final, University were favourites, having beaten Maitland in the semis 6-3. At half-time, however, the game was not going according to University's plan. Maitland had raced ahead to a 10-3 lead, thanks to tries by David Bevan and Robert Tynan, and a conversion by Gary Coates. But field goals by Damien Roth and Damien Brown for University helped to narrow the gap. And halfway through the second half, Tony Hogg heaved across the line for a try. A conversion by Damien Roth, and it was all over. The University boys will no doubt be celebrating tonight.